What's going on, everybody? It's Aurora coming at you with a brand new video, and Konami is the gift that keeps on giving because we've got yet another night in a row of, well, night actually makes sense for tonight, but we got another night in a row of getting legacy support or getting a new archetype, today being Infernoble. So I know that was like a really scuffed opening, but I know that Infernoble got new support. They got 5 new cards, they got like a Link monster, a new Synchro. I don't know exactly what they do, so it's a little bit of a spoiler, but not very much. But I don't really know much about Infernoble other than I played against them a little bit, and like everyone said they were hand looping for everything, but I got ripped like once, and that wasn't my entire hand. It was literally a single card. I don't know. It was really weird. I just remember selling my smoke grenades for like $30 because of it. It was great. But I know they eventually just got like dumbed down slower and slower because they kept losing stuff like Aurora, Hulk, etc. And they just became like a really bad combo deck overall. Like honestly, there's kind of worse synchron to my knowledge, at least in the TCG. But I'm hoping this gives it a bit more of its own identity so it doesn't have to fall back on that stuff, and maybe it can help it extend through certain plays, because I know it can easily, I'm pretty sure, get to its plays, but the problem is like its end board just keeps getting worse. So, alright, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get right into this. So this is from Duelist Nexus as well, by the way, the next core set. So it says the truth behind the Infernoble Knights revealed. So we have, oh god, I forgot they're all foreign names. I hate this. Infernoble Knight Richardetto. I'm just going to call him Richard. It's a fire tuner level 1 with 500 attack and 0 defense. You can only use one of the effects of this card's name per turn, only once that turn. You can either banish it from your hand or grave to special a level 4 or lower fire warrior from your hand as a tuner, or on summon, you can target level 4 or lower fire warrior in your grave except Richard and special summon it. Also, you cannot special monsters for the rest of the turn except warrior monsters. So I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want to do the second effect very often, because locking you into warriors doesn't really get you very far, doesn't it? Unless they have like a new really good end board piece other than Charles. So I think the first effect is probably going to be the most common. It's also level 1 fire warrior tuner though, so I mean I'm pretty sure you're going to play this anyway, even if both of its effects weren't that great. Next card is Infernoble Knight Tulpan. It's a fire warrior level 4, or level 4, I was about to say. That says level 5. With 1400 attack and 1700 defense, and it's a non-tuner. You can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. If you control a monster equipped with an equipped card, you can special this card from your hand or grave, but if it is summoned from the grave, banish it when it leaves the field. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can target a warrior monster you control, equip this card to that monster you control, and if the equipped monster is used as single material, you can treat it as a tuner. This seems like a really nice extender. I mean, just from controlling something equipped with an equipped card, especially from hand or from grave as an extender, similar to like something like Mathmech Edition. Banishing it when it leaves the field probably isn't that big of a deal. And if it's in your grave, you can also just equip it for free and then make it a tuner if you feel like, or not feel like. I'm noticing a lot of really cool cards saying you can treat it as a tuner, but like you don't have to treat it as a tuner, and I think that's really nice. I like the flexibility given by that. And it's a level 4, which is a really good level for going into synchros, so not bad. Next up is their brand new synchro, Angelica, Princess of Noble Arms. It is a fire warrior synchro, level 5 with 1200 attack and 2400 defense. She requires 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner monsters. I'm assuming because of the levels you're supposed to use Richard and Tulpan. And you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can add 1 card that mentions Charles or Horn of Oliphant from your deck to your hand. And when a card or effect is activated that targets this card, or when this card is targeted for an attack, quick effect, you can send a fire warrior monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, banish this card until the end phase. Then you can special summon a Roland monster from your deck or extra deck. So this seems like really specific. Roland, Charles, Horn of Oliphant. I'm gonna look up what all these cards do real quick. One sec. Okay, not gonna lie, some of these cards are kinda mid. So Horn of Oliphant, basically the only really good part of the effect is banish and equip you controller in your grave, then you can destroy a card on the field non-targeting. It also doesn't banish for cost. But both Rolands are like, I mean, one's a Scarm, and one only really does an interesting effect on Synchro Summon, but it only works during the end phase, so... then the second effect, during the main phase of this card's in your grave, you can target a warrior you control, equip this card to that monster as an equip spell that gives it 500 attack. So, I mean, not only is the second effect of Angelica not that great anyway, unless you target with your own effect, of course, which you can do, but, I mean, I mean, the on-summon adding Horn of Oliphant is a free disruption, but it's still not that fantastic. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. I don't really play Infernoble. Next is their Link 1. I think this is, other than Isolde being a Noble Knight Link monster, this is the only Infernoble Link monster, and this is Charlemagne, and it is a Fire Warrior Link 1 with 3000 attack. What? No way. What? Oh, okay. It requires a level 9 Infernoble Knight Emperor. Okay. For a second, I was so confused. I was like, a Link 1 with 3,000 attack, but it requires Charles equipped with an equip card. And if this card is Link 7, you can target a Charles in your grave. This card's name becomes that name, copies the effect, and equips that to this card as an equip spell. It gives 100 attack. And once per turn, when a spell, trap card, or effect is activated, you can send an equip spell from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard, negate that activation, and if you do, destroy that card. This seems pretty good. So if you're not locked into synchro summoning, then because something like Aurora, the old Infernoble Knight card that they use all the time, that would lock you out of Link summoning. So I'm thinking, because you can't really do any smoke grenade shenanigans anymore during the end phase effect of Charles, I mean, is there really a reason not to link off into Charlemagne? Because this 3,000 attack, it equips the Charles from the grave, you get the Charles effect, and you also get this effect. So yeah, it's kind of just free. I mean, you get a free negate, so I think that's pretty baller, not gonna lie. Next is their newest Infernoble Arms equip spell called All Mace. So you can only use one effect of this card's name per turn, only once that turn. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can equip one Infernoble Arms equip spell from your deck or graveyard to an appropriate monster you control, except Armos, or Armos, All Mace, whatever, then destroy this card. If this card is sent to the graveyard because the equipped monster is sent to the graveyard, you can target one of your Fire Warrior monsters that is banished on your grave and add it to your hand. This seems really good overall. I mean, this gets you a free Durandal, I think it is, from the deck. That's the one that searches, I know it because I used it to search Fireflint Lady and 6-Sam FTK. And then the second effect, I mean, you're probably going to use the first effect a bit more, but if you already have access to Durandal or whatever else you may play, this is also just free recursion, so that is also pretty nice. Their other new spell is the Noble Arms Museum, and this is a field spell, interestingly enough. So it says, Fire Warriors you control gain 500 attack. Once per turn, you can pay 1,200 to add a Noble Arms card from your deck to your hand, except a Museum. And once per turn, if you apply this card's second effect this turn, you can target one Noble Knight monster card in your spell and trap zone, special summon it. Also, if you did not control Charles at activation, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except Warrior monsters. So free attack buff is always nice. 500 is like the bare minimum for a good stat boost on a field spell. 1,200 life points isn't that steep of a cost, so it can be kind of annoying, but you do get to add literally any Noble Arms card from your deck to your hand. And then the third effect, so if you do go into Charles early, you can easily just get free extension here and then go into another synchro, or even if you do it at the very end of your combo, that is pretty nice as well. So this seems like a very solid field spell overall. And then finally, their newest trap card says the Epic Poem of Charles. So it's a normal trap that says you can only use each of these effects once per turn. You reveal a Noble Arms equip spell in your hand, and if you do, special an Infernoble Knight monster from your hand or deck, then either equip it with the revealed card or send the revealed card to the graveyard. And you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a Charles you control, equip it with a Noble Knight monster from your hand or deck as an equip spell that gives it 500 attack. So I'm not going to talk too much on this card. I don't know exactly how amazing this is for the deck. So granted, I know that you can use it to trigger the pop effect of Charles. I know that's one of the biggest things here to take away from this card. Banishing it from grave, target a Charles you control, equip it with a Noble Knight. That gives you the effect of whatever Infernoble or Noble Knight that you put, and then also you get to pop something with Charles effect. So that is something that I know off of that. But otherwise, Infernoble players, tell me in the comments below, how good is this card for the deck? Because I don't think it's searchable through anything except for like Trap Trick, obviously. So I'm not too sure, because Alice doesn't search it, right? Or Angelica, not Alice. Yeah, no, Angelica doesn't, oh, one card that mentions, okay, never mind, so you can search it, my bad, I'm stupid. So you can search this off of Angelica if you don't search for Horn of Oliphant, so tell me in the comments below, Infernoble players, is this actually good for the deck? Is it just okay, or is it bad? I don't know. But that is going to do it for the Infernoble Knight support. What do I think about this? Honestly, this is another one of those situations where I can't really comment too much on it because I'm not like a big enthusiast of the deck itself. I've only seen it like a couple of times, usually on EDO, since the deck ended up getting hit so bad with Smoke Grenade, then Aurora, then Hulk, and all of the other things that it may have done. I think this new support in a vacuum though, and just looking at it bare minimum, I think it's not that bad, especially I like Charlemagne, and then obviously the All Mace and the Field Spell are pretty good as well. Angelica searching the new Trap or Oliphant also makes it at least a little bit better to go into. I'm not too sure if it distracts from the main game plan, or if you can like go into it before going into the regular stuff you were already going into, so I'm not too sure. I do like Tulpan. Tulpan is a really nice free special. And then Richard isn't the greatest to my knowledge. I mean, maybe banishing it from hand or grave might be a really good effect. I know you can dump off of some of the Infernobles. But yeah, so my overall opinion, not bad at all, not bad at all. But again, I will need some help from the Infernoble Knight players in my comments below, because these are just my opinions, so many of yours, because that's going to do it for the video. If you liked it, please sure to leave a like, as I'll put this video and the channel into recommended. And if you like this content and want to see more like it, like the rest of my review series, I try to review every new archetype and wave of support that comes out for a deck, then perhaps consider subscribing, because we're on our way to 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2023, not to mention it supports the channel more than anything else, and it's absolutely free. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Aurora, signing off.